warning. If your heart is weak or you get scared easily, I strongly advise you not to listen to this story. What you're about to hear isn't just a tale, it's a reminder that some spirits never rest, and some truths were never meant to be uncovered. Now, let's begin our story. Adam had never thought of himself as a superstitious person, but standing in front of his grandmother's old house with its peeling paint and sagging porch, he felt an indescribable chill creep over him. Just days earlier, he had lost both his parents in a tragic car accident. Left with no choice, he moved into the dilapidated home nestled on the outskirts of town, where his family had spent countless summers. The house, filled with memories of laughter and warmth, now screamed solitude and grief. Each creak of the floorboards echoed with the weight of loss, and shadows flickered in the corners of his eye, reminding him he was not alone. As the sun dipped below the horizon, Adam felt a tangible heaviness settle around him. At first, the disturbances were subtle. Objects shifted slightly from where they were placed, the soft whisper of a voice just beyond his hearing, shadows creeping along the walls when daylight faded. Adam tried to dismiss them, convincing himself that he was simply adjusting to life without his parents. Still, each night culminated in an unnerving sensation, the feeling of being watched. On the third night, after a particularly oppressive day, Adam crept into bed, exhausted from a whirlwind of grief. As he lay awake, he heard the faint sound of laughter, echoing from the living room, a soft, giggling melody that resonated in the hollow of the house. Heart racing, he flung off the covers and tiptoed down the hallway, drawn toward the sound. As he entered the living room, he froze. The room was bathed in moonlight, illuminating the spectral forms of children playing with a doll in the corner. Their laughter was both haunting and joyous, a stark contrast to the emptiness he felt inside. Adam blinked, and they were gone, their giggles echoing like distant whispers in his mind. The next day, he sought out the local librarian, Mrs. Wren, an elderly woman with a knowing look in her eyes. She had seen his parents grow up in the town and sensed the weight he carried. When Adam recounted his experiences, her eyes softened. "This house has seen many joys and sorrows, Adam. Ghosts often linger where they once found warmth." "Ghosts?" he asked, a tremor in his voice. "Well, in a way, they are the echoes of our past," she said, her voice honeyed with empathy. "But I believe they can also seek connection. Perhaps your home is filled with unresolved stories." That night, Adam took it upon himself to unravel the mystery of his grandmother's house. He called out to the spirits, not fully understanding the power held in his words. "Who's here with me?" he said, the tremor of uncertainty lacing his tone. The silence was deafening until a heavy breeze swept through the room, extinguishing his candle. The darkness engulfed him, and he felt the presence of more than just the children. Cold fingers brushed against his arm, delicate yet firm. "Help us," a voice whispered, a child's voice laced with despair. Adam's heart pounded as faces flickered before him, remnants of a family he never knew. They were lost. The children had once lived here, and their spirits were trapped, yearning for someone to acknowledge their presence, to help them pass on. Determined to understand their pain, Adam spent the following days uncovering their stories. Each room spoke to him in visions, a family torn apart by grief, an accident that took away their hopes, their dreams. In return for his efforts, the spirits began to reveal themselves in clearer ways. The laughter turned from playful to pitiful. They wanted resolution, closure. The climax of his haunting came on a stormy night when the air was thick with electricity. Shadows danced around him as the spirits beckoned, bringing forth a vision of his grandmother. She had passed long before he arrived, leaving memories laden with regrets. "You must forgive," the children whispered, their eyes sorrowful yet filled with hope. With a heavy heart, Adam began to speak to their lingering spirits, recounting tales of both love and loss, forgiving the unseen actions that led to their demise. It was cathartic, releasing an emotional burden that had long gripped his soul. With each uttered word of kindness, the atmosphere shifted, lightened, until finally, with a final delighted giggle, the spirits began to dissolve into glimmers of light. Freed at last, the house felt different the next morning. The shadows had receded, and laughter no longer echoed in its halls. Instead, peace wrapped around Adam like a comforting embrace. He realized he hadn't just helped the lost souls. He had also begun to heal from his own unbearable grief. As he stepped outside, the sun cast its warm glow on the home, a place that had held so much darkness and sorrow. Adam knew that, although the ghosts had departed, their stories would forever remain, etched in the walls, waiting for the next heart to hear them. And with that knowledge, he took a deep breath and stepped boldly into his new beginning. The next morning, Adam found a new photo on the wall. It was him. Under it, one word: dead.